I was 16 when I spent my first weekend alone at home. My parents had gone to visit relatives a few towns over. They trusted me. I was the quiet one. I liked movies, homework, reading. I didn't go out much. I wasn't the type to throw parties. It was late September, still warm during the day, but the nights were starting to cool. The kind of Friday where the sun sets slow and everything feels a little too calm. Mom left me a grocery list. Frozen pizza, cereal, some stuff for breakfast. I biked to the store around 5:30, picked it up, and texted her that I was home. She wrote back, "Good, be smart, keep the doors locked." The house was quiet, still light outside. I put the pizza in the oven, turned on a playlist, and let the calm settle over everything. I ate on the couch with a blanket over my legs, watching some old action movie. The guest room door across the hall was closed, like always. No one ever used it. Around 7:15, there was a knock at the door. Not a hard knock, just a casual rap. I muted the TV and walked over. Through the peephole, I saw a delivery guy, tan jacket, holding a paper bag. I opened the door a few inches. "Delivery?" he said. "Didn't order anything," I told him. He blinked, looked at the bag. "Oh, wrong house, sorry." He walked back down the steps and disappeared around the hedge. I closed the door, locked it, checked it again, then again. Back on the couch, I texted my best friend Daniel. I told him I'd gotten a weird knock, but it was just a delivery guy at the wrong house. He joked that my house was haunted, that he knew it. I laughed it off, telling him I was fine, just me, pizza, and peace. I turned the volume down. Thought I heard something outside, but maybe it was the wind. I sat with it for a while. Then I told myself not to be weird. By 8 o'clock, it was fully dark. The hallway light was off. I hadn't turned it off. I flipped the switch. Light came on with a soft buzz. That was odd. I walked to the kitchen to refill my water. Opened the fridge. It was too quiet. No hum. I leaned close. Nothing. Back in the living room, the blanket was on the floor. I hadn't touched it. I stood still for a few seconds. Then I told myself I must have knocked it off when I got up. Except I remembered tucking it in. I texted Daniel again, joking that the ghosts hadn't given up yet, that they were still hiding from me. I went to the bathroom and saw the door was cracked open. I always keep it closed. I even remembered hearing the click. I shut it. Tight. Later, I opened the drawer in the kitchen to grab scissors. The slot was empty, the big red-handled ones. Gone. I checked the other drawers. Nothing. I messaged Daniel that stuff was moving around. He asked what I meant. I explained about the blanket, the door, the scissors, how the fridge was off. His response was immediate and worried. "Bro. Get out." I laughed it off, kind of. The house stayed quiet, too quiet. At around 9:30, I opened the drawer where we keep the spare key. It was always there. One key labeled with red tape. Gone. I checked every drawer twice. The junk drawer, the key hooks, nothing. That's when the silence started to feel heavier. I started to think maybe I'd moved it. But I knew I hadn't. At 10 o'clock, I saw the hallway light flicker. I stood and watched it from the living room. Still. Then a shape moved along the wall, a shadow, but too far from anything to be cast properly. I turned on the flashlight on my phone. Stepped down the hallway. Everything looked normal, but the guest room door was slightly open, just barely. That door is always closed, always. I stared at it a little too long. Shut it softly. Didn't make a sound. In the bathroom, the mirror was fogged. The sink was damp. I hadn't used it since before dinner. I texted Daniel again. This was getting really weird, I told him. The guest room door, the bathroom. It was like someone had been walking around, no reply. Back in the living room, the TV remote was missing. I stood in place, scanning the room. My heart thudded. I walked to the kitchen. One of the drawers was open, just enough to show the edge of something. The scissors, back in place, but they were wet. I didn't move them, just shut the drawer. I heard a thud upstairs. I froze. Then, slowly, I climbed the stairs, each one creaking under my weight. In my bedroom, the chair was turned toward the window. My charger was unplugged and lying across the floor. I didn't go in, just stood there, breathing slow. My phone buzzed in my hand. 3 missed calls. Unknown number. 1 voicemail. I hit play. It was just static. Then, maybe breathing? I wasn't sure. Downstairs, I heard the basement door creak open. I moved slowly to the top of the stairs. Didn't see anything. Then the guest room door creaked again. Louder this time. A shadow crossed the floor. Just outside my view, then headlights swept across the windows. A car in the driveway. Voices. My neighbors were home. I bolted down the stairs, out the door, and didn't look back. The police arrived 15 minutes later. They checked the whole house. Said all the doors were locked, nothing broken, but the side door, the one that leads out near the basement, was bolted from the inside. I never used that door. Nothing was missing. Nothing stolen. But I don't sleep in my room anymore, and I don't open the guest room door, and I never found out who took the scissors, or why the side door was locked from the inside.